Welcome, everybody, to episode 11 of the official League of Kyle's Rivals Not Stupid podcast. I'm your host, Mike, alongside, as always, there's Alex, there's Lucho, and making another guest appearance.
Number 3.
Third time, long time.
It's Tom.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, man, the viewership numbers don't lie. Tom brings that cheddar.
Most
There's a
popular
reason
guest.
why we bring you on the show.
Hey, look, I'll do what I can.
But we have honestly, Tom's here because really the show is going to revolve around a lot of what Tom has to say because he does a lot of the grunt work for this and he puts in the hours and the time to do his own rankings, figure out all the
Projected
matchups,
standings.
go through, projected standings, projected records for everyone, 1 to 12. I feel like this is one where I'm probably going to sit back and just comment and let Tom kind of take over. I guess we'll start with Alex first, since you have your projected playoff odds.
For sure.
We'll just,
I did. I do have some playoff odds. Couldn't tell you how they were calculated at all, but I do have these odds.
The algorithm is secret.
From a third-party site. And fortunately, we don't have a league with divisions because the playoff odds algorithm does not support leagues with divisions. It's also based on 6 playoff teams, so it's a perfect thing for us.
Wow.
Do you think I should start at the top or should I start at the bottom? Maybe I'll go a little back and forth.
A little back and forth.
I feel like I would almost say maybe start at the top, only because we might know who gets in, and then the big reveal.
I'm going to go back and forth. I'm going to go back and forth.
You do.
So, all right. I'll give you number 1 and number 2. Number 1, Bruce, it's you with 95% chance of making the playoffs as things stand at this moment.
Ooh, that's big. Only 95.
Yeah. So if he misses the playoffs, can I get bet on those odds? Like, can I bet against you making the playoffs?
What would that line be at?
I'll contact my guy in Vegas.
Find me a bookie that'll.
It'd be like that. It'd be like 18 to 1 odds because
just contact your tax guy. I'm sure he'll take it. He'll take that action.
I'm not gonna name drop him, but he's from Howard Beach, New York.
If anybody wants to make this bet with me, I'm taking 18 to 1 odds. Number 2 is me at 93%. So it's pretty similar to the power rankings. Now let me move to the bottom. 2 teams with 1% chance of making the playoffs.
Really?
So you're saying there's a chance?
There is a chance of everyone else getting hurt in the entire league besides their players, and they make it. And it's Anthony, Kyle, both at 1%.
Was there a less than sign, or is it exactly 1%?
That's a good question. Nope, it's exactly 1%.
Very important detail.
That's a rounding error.
The rounding, I was gonna say.
No, what they're doing is they're counting COVID. They're counting the weirdness of the season.
That's what I mean. There's always a chance.
That's true.
Always a chance. I'll move on to what place would this be? 10th place, or the 10th worst odds, or the 3rd worst odds? However way you want to say it. It's Alex Hochberg at 2%. So,
he doubled up Kyle and Anthony.
Oh,
yeah,
Peanut.
I mean, you combine Kyle and Anthony's 2 teams, and they're just Alex's team. So, number 3 on the list for the 3rd best odds, Tom, it's you at 86%.
Ooh, World Series winner that year.
That's pretty good. Number 4 on the list, Lucho.
Really?
78% chance.
Thanks.
So
the fix is in with this third-party site.
This is where the power rankings might start differing. There's the power rankings say certain teams are better than others.
Look at us. Who would have thought?
There's
4 of us, 1 to 4.
What's that Paul Rudd on the Hot Ones? Hey, look at us.
This is where the power rankings and the playoff odds differ. Whereas, maybe the power rankings say you have a very good team, but maybe your odds are a little worse than you think because your team is high risk. Who knows? The 4th
nobody's
worst.
Higher risk than me. Nobody's higher than me.
This is where things get a little dicey here. The 4th worst is Skylar at 18%. Okay, sure.
Big jump up, though. I mean,
Yeah, you thought Skylar's team wouldn't be that good, but 18%. That's a huge difference from there. The fifth best odd, so back to the top, at 13% worse than Lucho, is Dennis at 65%.
Denny
So-
Cashman.
Yep,
4%
yep.
off.
Now, this is where things really start to get interesting. The fifth worst, now at the bottom, would be Joey's team, which, okay, that's what you would expect, but it's 47% chance of making the playoffs. So
Wow.
he's almost a
coin
50-50
flip.
shot to be in. So when he says you might be surprised at his team, he could be right. So I think if we're creating tiers, I think there's a clear bottom four, and Joey's not anywhere close to it. Joey's more in the fringe playoff team tier because there's a couple teams here that are all very close of the final two. Now, number 6 for best and number 7 for best. So the last playoff team and that first team missing it. Number 6 is actually Nick
What?
at 60%.
You were right. Number 6 shocked me.
It's because
Yep.
of all the moves he's made this year.
So there's the one team that this is actually the biggest shock is Phil's team being at number 7 with how good we thought Phil's team looked. He only has a 53% chance of making it in the playoffs. So despite all these moves, it's not much better than Joey.
That's surprising.
It's interesting. So that was the one thing I wanted to bring up. It just, what do you think about that? Do you think maybe even I'll talk to you, Lucho, since you probably talked to Phil the second most about fantasy behind me. Do you think he made risky moves by changing his team up and going for it immediately this year? When I know personally, I was just telling him the idea probably would have been to go all out in 2021, but then he
I
changed
opened
things
his
up by
fucking
drafting.
page again.
By drafting Cam Akers and DeAndre Swift and making some of these big trades. Do you think he, I don't know, blew his load a little too early?
He is pretty clearly not very confident in certain parts of his team, which I think is silly. But I don't think he's high risk. I think he's built a good bedrock, and I don't think he deserves to be in that lower tier personally. I think he and Nick should swap so that Nick can be in the same tier as Skylar and Joey.
Now, the big difference here is when you go back to the power rankings, he's 4th in the power rankings with a score of 90 out of 100.
Mm-hmm.
So his team definitely looks good. He's right up there with everybody, but for some reason these playoff odds are just so much more slim, which, okay, maybe is his schedule very tough? That could be one thing.
I was going to say, did you have to plug in the schedule to get these odds?
It automatically uploads from my fantasy league. So
Okay, so then maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe his schedule's
Good
tougher
question.
on paper than maybe looking at it. Because I still haven't went and looked at the schedule.
I'll take a look at it.
I probably
Oh.
should.
I've been looking at the schedule.
Well,
And let me just tell you, Phil, you're not built like that.
So this is actually funny. Phil plays Kyle twice
Oh,
and Dennis twice. So maybe it could be
Hmm.
anything. It could be bye weeks. It could just be.
yeah,
We'll have to tune in to Tom's projected standing.
Yeah, I'll be able to elaborate more on everything as far as bye weeks and all that mumbo jumbo because I just spent the last 2 hours doing that.
So Tom, I'll give it up to you now.
yeah. Take it away.
All right. Well, I don't even know where to start. What do you guys think? Should I start from the top or should I start from the bottom?
Start with the.
Because I want to give everyone's record, and then I want to elaborate.
Start with the
Okay.
bottom.
Start with the
Yeah.
bottom, yeah.
Start with the bottom.
Yeah.
In last place at 2-11 projected, I have Alex Hochberg.
Oh.
I have him winning week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and week 13. That's it.
Who does he
And,
play those weeks by any chance?
Oh, let me bring that up. I'm glad you guys asked me that question. Week 7, he plays Dennis, and that's a bye week nightmare for Dennis. And week 13, he plays Joey, and I believe Joey misses McCaffrey that week.
Oh, That makes sense.
Oh, Dre
Yeah.
misses his entire team that week.
Exactly.
Come on, man. That's mean. It's not his entire team anymore. It just was last year.
So that's why I have that. I'm just pressing the button. Okay. Next on the list at 3 and 10, I have Kyle. At the spot above him, I have Skylar at 3 and 10 as well. Big regression from Skylar this year. That's just how it has to be.
Who do they beat? Give me
You
some.
want to know who? Okay,
yeah.
all right. We'll do it like this. Kyle, I have Kyle win. Kyle's right next to me for everybody. He just looked at me when I said his name.
Looks up what?
I have Kyle beating Anthony on week 3. I have Kyle beating Joey week 4, and week 8, I have Kyle beating Alex Hochberg.
Weird. So a 2-2 start for Kyle, that might give him some confidence.
2-2
4.
start, but Kyle, I have him losing his last 5 games.
I was gonna say 3 and
3 and
5
10.
after his third win, and then 5 straight losses. So just to
Yeah. I mean, he has honestly some of the worst luck, like towards the end of the season. There were certain matchups where I was like, yeah, there's just no shot in hell he's going to win this matchup.
I'm glad you do this, man. I can't believe these are going to be the actual results of our matchups.
Yeah, so for everyone that's tuning in, if you're in our league and you're in the top 6, pencil yourself in for a playoff run.
Did you also
Tuning in,
do?
it's not TV.
Whatever.
Did you end with the projected standings, or did you continue into the playoff matchups?
I did not continue to the playoff matchups just
Ooh,
because.
we'll look at that
Cliffhanger.
–
after then.
Yeah, we'll look at that
I wanna do
after. As far as Skylar, you guys want to know who I have him beating?
Mm-hmm.
I have
Did anyone answer? Did we just not?
I went like
I went
this.
No.
Oh, okay. Because I was looking down.
I
and
don't. You
realized
guys need to talk to me because I don't have my video up right now.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
I have him beating Alex Hochberg week 3. Week 9 and 10, I have him winning as well. Week 9, I have him beating Kyle. Week 10, I have him beating what's his name again? I have him. Oh, week 10, I have him beating Alex.
Oh.
That's big. We should elaborate on that one. I have him beating you, Alex, because week 10, you have Mahomes out. You have Brian Hill out. That's big. You have Keenan Allen out, and he has his whole team there, so I gave him the win there. You got to pick a couple
Yeah, for sure.
matchups. So that one I gave to Skylar. Those are his 3 wins. These bottom teams are going to have some nightmare seasons.
It's for
But
the
it's
better, though.
It's dynasty.
It's for the better.
If you have your own first round pick, so just one of them, the ones you've gone over so far, then you're actually winning.
Yeah, and you'll see a pattern with these bottom teams. A lot of them are beating each other. So like the bottom 4 teams, a lot of their 3-4 wins are against each other.
Makes sense.
It's
So a
again,
lot
Keep
of
those
split
projected points
series.
down, Peanut, then he can get Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
that's true. That is true. In 9th place, I have Anthony at 4 and 9. Can't believe I have Anthony winning 4 games, but I do. I have him winning week 5. Where is he? Juicy swag against Alex Hochberg. I have him winning week 6. 2-game winning streak here.
2 in a row.
Against Skylar.
Hubris is gonna set in.
I have him winning week 9 against Lucho. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, dude.
Wow, can't believe it happened already.
And week 10 against Dennis. The one with Lucho.
Oh no.
The one with Lucho, I'll explain. What the fuck week was that? Okay, 9. You got Case Keenum on bye. You have Carson Wentz on bye.
Case Keenum.
I'm just saying
oh
everybody.
no.
I'm
Oh,
just
no.
saying everybody.
no.
I wish you stopped talking after that.
You got Case
on
Keenum
bye,
You
lost.
sorry, dude.
So you got Keenum on bye. You got Carson Wentz on bye. Malcolm Brown's on a bye that week. Miles Sanders is on a bye that week. John Hightower, nobody knows who he is yet. He's on a bye that week.
Ooh, Bobby
Robert
Trees,
Woods.
Yeah.
Robert Woods on a bye that week.
Ooh,
Dallas
that's a lot.
Goddard on a bye. Austin Hooper on a bye. Anthony doesn't really have many on a bye that week. Let me
That's half my starting roster right there.
see.
Good
I
thing
do-
you have all
I
those
do this,
wide
bro.
receivers, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Anthony has Giovanni Bernard out that week and Van Jefferson, and that's it. So I gave
So
Anthony
two guys
the
that
nod.
probably aren't even in the starting lineup.
Exactly. I gave him the nod that week. Those are his 4 wins.
That's
That's
a big
not-
win. That almost sucks for him because finishing 4th, having the 4th overall pick, like he might.
It's all about the projected points.
They'll be good.
man.
They'll be good players, but I don't know. I just think
It's all about the projected points. If you want to get a good pick, you got to trade away some players.
True.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
I'll
the thing
take
with him. He
in this-
has.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Luch, real quick.
No, go ahead.
He has Deshaun Watson. He has Juju. He has some of these big
Mhm.
name players that are going to keep his points up. So
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, yeah, with the model that you have for projected points for picks, I'll take if I was in his position, I'd take a win over a good team that has a ton of buys, so that you don't have to have a lot of points to win.
Mm-hmm.
yep.
Sure.
So it's an interesting way to do it because really the only way to get the top picks is if you have a really bad team, but it's almost counterproductive to have a really bad team because how are you going to be able to turn it around so quickly? That's why it's you need a lot of draft pick accumulation and then
Yeah.
you trade
Well, I
them.
mean, we knew this is. I mean,
All
it's
the
the only
rest.
way to do it. And granted, we wouldn't tolerate people just like benching their players for the sake of tanking anyway.
Yeah.
But I mean, sometimes it backfires if you do have like a just really bad luck team, and then they don't even get a top pick out of it. But
Like
it's-
Phil's
I mean,
team
this is
last
the
year?
only- Yeah.
Where it was just bad coaching.
Yeah, Phil's one of the worst coaches I've ever seen. But no, keep in mind, this is just I went through every roster and I kind of mapped out, okay, this is what I think this guy's starting roster is going to look like. And I kind of went like that week by week. And it's also July 23rd, 2020, so there's a lot that can happen.
That's true.
What do you mean? It's after the start of training camp.
Oh,
Oh.
Oof.
oh,
Oh.
oops.
By the way, they said today, I heard that they're going to push back training camp if they don't have an agreement on finances.
Nice.
Which they won't. It took baseball how many months? You really think football's gonna get shit done quick? Come on.
Yeah.
Probably faster than baseball, but still not quick relative.
So, in 8th place, this is where things take a little bit of a turn. I think I'm going to turn some heads with this projection. People are going to get upset. There's going to be rioting in the streets.
Unless you say Nick right now, because he's not gonna watch.
I'm not going to say Nick. I'm going to go ahead and say at 4 and 9, in 8th place, we're going to see Dennis.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yep. I'm sorry, Dennis. I know you're a loyal spectator of this podcast, but hey, look, man, I think the schedule screws you from what I see. You win week 3. Let's see who you're playing. Against Joey. I have you beating Joey week 3. You win week 6. That is against Nick. You
Oh,
win
thank
week.
God.
Yep. You win week 8, and that's going to be against Skylar.
Oh, thank God again.
And I have you winning week 11, and week 11 is going to be against Kyle. Other than that, you get matched up horribly with your bye weeks. For instance, like a week 10 matchup against Anthony, you should win that matchup, but you got players on bye that are going to hurt you. Mainly Tyreek Hill, the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, they're on a bye week that week. That's going to be tough. I gave the nod to Anthony that week. It could have went either way, but Anthony doesn't really have anyone on a week 10 bye week. So the schedule is just not in your favor. That's what it looks like from now, at least. 7th place. Wait, what did I do? Hold on. Yeah.
You're good.
7th place. We were the 8th place team was 4 and 9. The 7th place team is 7 and 6, just missing the playoffs, and that is Joey.
What a drop off! I guess a drop off from 7th to 8th. Holy
Yeah,
shit,
one thing
3
I've really
games.
noticed about our league, at least from what I see, is I feel that it's really top heavy. I think the top teams are the top teams, and I honestly thought Dennis was one of those like teams that was a contender until I went through the schedule. But you'll see as we go along. There's teams that are very good. Every team in the playoffs has at least 8 wins, which usually sneak 1 7 and 6 win team in there.
Mhm.
So, Exactly.
But that's
Mike
that's
won the
usually-
championship last year with 7 wins.
I've noticed every year that once you hit that 8-win mark, you're clinched. Pretty
Yeah.
much. There's never a time
Yeah.
when there's that many.
Especially when six out of 12 make it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I have Joey at 7-6, which, in all fairness, is a huge improvement for Joey.
Is Joey going
Um,
to call for the NFL standard of playoffs now, where 7 teams make it?
Hey, look, if we do it, Joey, you're in. I actually have Joey winning the first 2 weeks of the season. They have him beating Anthony week 1.
Oh, thank God!
Fucking congrats, bro. You beat Anthony. And then week 2, I have where is he? I have him beating Alex Hochberg. So he has a really easy schedule to start. I think out of every team in the league, Joey has the easiest schedule, personally.
Gets to play Anthony and Alex Hochberg twice. Yeah.
Twice. And 4 of his 7 wins are against Anthony and Alex Hochberg.
Makes sense.
So his other 3 wins, however, are week 6 and 7. Week 6, I have him beating. Where is he? It's really hard to find. I have him beating. You, Mike. That's big.
Okay.
And then week 7, I have him beating
Phil,
Phil.
I got it. Yep.
So week 6, again, you got Drew Brees on a bye. Mike, you have Hunter Renfrow, who cares? You have Henry Ruggs on a bye. You have Jeff Thomas, nobody knows who that is. You have Darren Waller on a bye.
Well, it's the Drew Brees one, obviously. Then
It's
there's
Drew Brees.
No other.
Yeah.
So that'll be a 1 quarterback
You,
week. We'll
you
see.
gotta hope.
Yeah.
You gotta hope that Herbert's starting by then.
Hey Bear.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
A
Yeah.
lot of if teams are only starting 1 quarterback, to me it's really tough for them to get that win.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed.
Yeah. There's been plenty of work done by other people, not us, that
Yeah.
show that starting. I know, for example, there's this one guy that I follow on Twitter. I forget his name, but he he does. I can't remember his first name, but I think his last name is McNamara. But he does a calculation that's basically like the equivalent of a wins over replacement for baseball, but in terms
Okay.
of fantasy football.
Mhm.
And essentially, if you go an entire season and only start 1 QB, you're sacrificing just over a full win on the season. So, I mean, sure, it's just, you can think it's just 1 win, but that's literally, you could have thrown any QB in. Doesn't matter who it is. It could be
As long as
I don't
they're
know.
starting.
it could be Mitch Trubisky for a season. You throw him in your super flex for the entire year, you're still getting 1 more win over not starting a QB just because of how many points they scored. So
What's
obviously, if
his,
you have,
what's his sample size? Like a lot of.
he's gone back a bunch of seasons. I don't know the
Okay.
exact thing offhand.
Sam N equals a bunch.
Well, the quarterback.
And I'm pretty sure he has a book as well, and I haven't read the book,
right.
so there's that too.
Even if you look at last year in the first round of the playoffs, I lost. Mitch Trubisky got more points than Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
So it's like, just start a quarterback if you can start him. You know,
Exactly. We've gone over this too before when I was comparing quarterbacks to
Yeah.
other guys. When you're seeing like a top tier player like Josh Jacobs or something, and then all of a sudden Jimmy Garoppolo is outscoring him or something. You know.
Jordan.
I definitely I
McNamara.
overthought a few of my weeks where I think when Breeze was hurt, I started like a second tight end over like whatever bullshit was on my roster, like Mason Rudolph, even though it might have been a good option.
Yeah, I mean, I was
Like, I feel like-
starting Kyle Allen a bunch of weeks on it.
Yeah, like I feel like
helping,
there's
so.
there's some exceptions to that rule depending on your roster, but I guess if they're a starter, I
Well,
don't
sure,
know.
but I mean, the exception is you're going to end up needing top tier players that go in the super flex. So not only do you have Saquon Barkley and Christian McCaffrey as your top 2 runners, but then you also still have like a Leonard Fournette or something, where it's like the
Yeah.
chance of having all these guys.
right,
one
it's
roster,
it's
slim.
slim. Yeah,
And who says Leonard Fournette isn't even going into regular flex? So it might be your 4th guy.
right. No, of course it's it's just it's interesting research nonetheless.
So now in 6th place, the start of the playoff teams, we have Nick at 8-5. And
How is he gonna fucking rack up? 8
let
wins?
me explain
I
something.
need to hear this.
All right, I'm gonna go over teams that Nick's lost to because now we're going into teams with 8 wins.
Yeah,
So I have Nick losing week 3 to Mike. I have him losing week 5 2. Where is he?
Phil.
Phil. Yep. I have him week 6. I have him losing
To Dennis.
to Dennis. I have him losing week 10 and 11.
10 is to you, Tom. 11 is to Lucho.
So those are the 5 losses I have for Nick. The rest of his schedule, I mean, again, he kind of benefits from having a pretty good schedule, in my opinion.
Yeah, I know for
So-
sure that when I look at my team, my 2 bad bye weeks, one of them is week 8, which is when I play Nick.
Yeah. So teams that Nick plays twice is he plays Alex Hochberg twice and Joey twice. I think
You think
I
you
have
could sweep
I have
those?
4 wins right there. You'll see another pattern with teams. If you play a team twice that's not good, your win total is going to be inflated.
Makes sense.
Because if you play Hochberg and Anthony twice, you're most likely going to get 4 extra wins on the year.
The nice part about a random schedule, sometimes you just get the luck.
Yeah, so I have Nick there at number 5. I have you, Lucho, also at 8-5. Let's see, where do I have you on the sheet? I have you losing week 2 to Mike, losing week 3 as well to me.
Let's go.
Let's
I'm
go
dry-
me.
I'm starting season 1 and 2. I might just quit.
But
Yeah,
then,
right.
but then your next
Fell
loss is
off.
week 7. Next loss is week 7, and that's to Alex. Then week 9, I have you losing as well to Anthony.
Oh, that's when you'll call it quits.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It doesn't matter.
Once that
It's a
happens, it
rough
doesn't
week.
matter what the
You'll be
record is. I'll
Then I have you
live
losing
stream
the mic.
myself.
You'll be
committing
5-4 after week 9. It'll be like, well, season's over. Just
Well,
lost
bye.
Then I have you losing to Mike week 13. Again, you play Mike twice, and I have those as both
Ooh,
losses.
so
so.
a big run there, going 5-4, and then you make a big jump, getting 4 straight wins or 3 straight.
Yeah,
wins.
3 straight wins. You actually, in my projections, you go on 2 3-game winning streaks. So
Those are gonna be the
congrats.
week. Congrats, Luch. Those are gonna be the week when you lose players to coronavirus for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could happen. I was looking up intros for our podcast. Not a sponsor, but
I mean, you could be.
actually, this is a sponsor. For those of you that don't know, we're starting a podcast network.
This is our first ever sponsor.
Kyle, get on the screen real quick. Me and Kyle, we are starting our own
Who?
podcast.
Who's that? No
And,
mask.
it's called
I don't
Completely
know.
Unridiculous.
Yeah, spelled incorrectly on purpose.
Spelled incorrectly on purpose. We'll give more information when the time comes, but just so you guys know, for the future, big things are fucking happening over here.
Part of the
Laying groundwork.
podcast network.
Part of our podcast network. Again, it's like a pre-release. There's a lot more work that's going to be
Which
done.
is
before we,
this show included. I can't
Yep,
wait.
this show's included.
We got a total
I
of
just
3
broke the news.
podcasts. 3 podcasts on the network.
At least. All right, let's continue with number
Yeah.
4. And I have Phil at number 4, also at 8-5. So I have 3 8-5
Oh,
teams.
wow.
The only difference with these 8-5 teams, I don't know how it actually goes in our league, but I went on head-to-head records. So again, it's a scramble from 4 through 6.
I'm sure it's projected points is the tiebreaker.
No. Projected points is only for the non-playoff teams. It
Oh.
might be points scored.
Mhm.
It's either points scored or
That's-
the head-to-head record.
I think that's what I meant. Points,
Gotcha.
yeah, points scored, not
But
projected.
For
Phil's
hours?
schedule is weird.
Yes, for hours. What other dynasty league would be
Hours.
referencing, Lucho?
For hours.
We quit the other one, if you remember.
I just thought.
So, let's see.
Ooh, I like the background music.
Yeah, that's Kyle doing his
My
intro
bad.
music. So, I have Phil losing
Even
to
on if he
Alex.
wants.
I mean, it's sick. I have Phil losing to Alex week 3 and Lucho week 4. And then he goes on another win streak. And then I have him losing week 8, 9, 10. And those are his only losses. And his opponents week 8, 9, and 10 are as follows. They are Mike Kane. They are what am I looking at? Me. They are. I keep looking at the name, my team name, and thinking it's Phil, Joey, and also I have him losing to Anthony as well, which was a big one. Third place, I have myself at 9-4, just one game better. And then the top two, as y'all probably can imagine, I have Mike at 11-2 at second place and Alex at 11-2 in first place. And the only reason why I have Alex in first place is because I have Alex beating Mike. I think it's like week 10 or something like that. Something. Let me see. No, it might be week 9. When do you guys play each other?
I couldn't tell you.
Anyway, it's towards the end of the season. You guys play each
week
other.
11.
Ooh, even better.
So
Late season match.
It's a huge week 11 matchup. I have Alex beating you, Mike, and the only reason why I did that, I think to me it was a no-brainer the way I looked at it. It's because you have Josh Allen on a bye.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
You have Raheem Mostert on a bye. You have Larry Fitzgerald on a bye.
So
you have George Kittle on a bye.
By the way, it's points scored is the tiebreaker for playoffs.
That makes sense.
All right, so my 4 through 6 can go any way because they're all 8 and 5.
All right, well then, Tom, I'm going to ask you some questions here, and everyone else.
Please ask questions.
I'm asking for everybody actually, but so that means our playoff matchups are Tom. It's you versus Nick.
Again.
Is that what it was last year too?
I'm pretty sure.
And then it's Phil versus Lucho.
That's a big matchup.
What do you guys think on it? Once we hit week 14, it's just even up. I mean, a lot will happen obviously to change, but
well, let's hear what Mike and Lucho think about those matchups first.
So I'm just gonna say for me, as if I do end up with the 2 seed, obviously do we reseed for the advance, right? Like if Nick were to win, he would play that's the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
So then clearly I just based on rosters, I would be rooting for Nick because I don't want to play Tom in the semifinal. This was the predicament of last year too. I said, all right, I forget what it was. I think I ended up being happy being the 6th seed because I knew that if I won, I was guaranteed to play Skylar.
Yep.
Which I was happy with because I knew that going in, I figured Tom was the toughest team. We all did, and I figured, all right, at least if I play Tom, I'd be in the championship if I play him. So at least at that point, I'm guaranteed money. I would hate to see Tom in the semifinal. So that's where I'll almost be weirdly less happy with a 2 seed based on Tom's rankings, just because of if Tom moves on, then I get a shit draw in the semifinal versus, last year's scenario.
Do you think Nick has any chance to beat Tom in the playoffs as things stand today? Obviously, Nick won't be making any moves by then.
Right.
So.
Well, I mean, we're also assuming this. We're also assuming these rankings based on nobody making moves anyway. Like you're taking all of it as the roster.
We're assuming
Nick's not making moves.
He's not making moves. Period. But
if Tom makes moves, most likely it's to make his team better.
It's one of those where if Nick's lineup is healthy and has a good week, he's capable of beating
that's
anybody.
The thing we have to take into account is how deep are some of these teams, with
right
for injuries.
And then again, look at the flukiness of Tom's loss. Like really, Mitch Trubisky outscored Lamar Jackson. How many times is that ever going to happen?
The thing with Nick's team is that he's sneakily dangerous if his running backs are healthy.
Right.
Yeah.
Because Eckler, Gurley, and I forget his third running back. And Kamara. I mean, you could really kind of beat any team if they go off.
Mm-hmm.
And he even has Breida and Cohen in a pinch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he can. I mean, his wide receivers are very weak. His tight ends are very weak. And if anything happens to Rodgers or Garoppolo, he's done.
Mm-hmm.
But
if they're there,
assuming everyone's healthy,
unless something also happens to Wentz.
Yeah.
But
that's true.
So let me get your guys' official predictions. Lucho, who do you have winning that matchup?
Between Mike
Tom and Nick.
Or Tom and Nick. Tom.
Mike?
Only because of Nick. Nick has more injury variance, and running back isn't as important, in my opinion, to be deep.
Mike, who do you have?
I would just say Tom based on. I mean, I just think having Lamar Jackson on your roster is such a game changer if he's healthy and at his full potential. Like I mean, Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's good for like it's almost like a guaranteed 30 spot if he plays to his potential. So I just think that's way better.
Let me ask you something like this, and this isn't just to you, Mike. This is to everybody. This is kind of a standard thing that gets talked about on podcasts, probably. But do you think that Lamar Jackson puts up another season like he just did, or do you think there actually will be some kind of regression?
I mean, we've said it on here that I think we've all kind of said I don't think he broke the rushing record for a quarterback. I feel like you only kind of go down from there. I don't know how, but like even if he runs for 70% of what he did in 2019, I still think that's fantasy quarterback number 2 at worst.
That's the thing. I think that he was like 70 points ahead of the QB2.
Right. Even if he throws more, runs less, I still think his production is top 3 QBs. So I still think he's that much of a difference maker on the team. And it's weird. And it's not to overlook Mahomes, because I like Mahomes with a full season is far and away, I think, quarterback 1. But it's weird just because like Lamar Jackson can rip off that 50-yard run more so than Mahomes, whereas Mahomes is just good for like 400 yards and 5 touchdowns at any moment. I don't know. It's weird. Like it's weird when I talk about Lamar Jackson and then almost like overrates the wrong word, but like almost like an oversight of Patrick Mahomes. It's just weird for fantasy. Like I know the numbers are insane, but just like the explosiveness of Jackson just makes you like, oh shit, like this guy is still. But in a matchup, Tom and Nick, I think Lamar Jackson's still the X factor, and a solid game from him, I think it's enough.
Tom, who do you have winning that matchup?
Nick.
You have Nick winning.
Yeah, I don't think I match up well against Nick.
All right, that means you have to
look at the week 14 stuff.
I was hoping that you guys were all going to say Tom, because then I wouldn't have to give my opinion on this. But now if I pick Nick, it's a tie. So hold on, I'm going to take a look at these rosters really quickly.
Yeah, you just have to look at the week 14 matchups.
I do want to take a look at Nick's team again. So he's got Aaron Rodgers, Jimmy Garoppolo. That's a
good QB platoon to have, I feel like.
Yeah, I wish I could easily see the schedule for them. I think I can do it on the app easier, actually.
So for reference, week 14, the Ravens play the Browns.
That's pretty good, to be honest.
Oh,
wait, actually, where is it?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If there's not,
it's at Cleveland.
So I actually wasn't Cleveland.
Doesn't matter because it's cold.
Wasn't Cleveland the only team that was able to actually like contain Lamar Jackson a little bit during the season? I think they were the only team, and then it ended up being the Titans a little bit in the playoffs. But I think they were the only one for some reason. There was something. It's been so long since I heard this stat, but now going back to 2019.
So December 23rd, 2019. Jackson had 103 yards on 17 catches and threw for 3 touchdowns. So maybe not that week, maybe the first one.
On 3 catches?
Wait,
3 touchdowns.
Yeah. 9-29-19, Cleveland to Baltimore, 40-25 Cleveland.
Yeah.
And that was in Cleveland?
I don't know. Nope, it was in Baltimore.
Pull up this whole fucking season.
Hold on.
Every
I'm pulling up that box score. So then Lamar Jackson had 247 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. That was the big thing there.
Yeah, but interceptions for fantasy aren't the biggest deal.
And then he had 66 rushing yards and no touchdowns.
9 for 66 on the ground.
Yeah, they kind of held him in check. So I mean, that's the thing. Like those division matchups are so sketchy.
I don't know if I would say they held him in check. I think they just schemed for the pass because the Browns don't have a
247 and 3 touchdowns and 66 rushing yards is not really. I would call it holding in check relative to the rest of the season.
Oh yeah, no, I'm saying
I know what you mean.
I think it was by design and the design didn't work.
Mhm.
I mean, just kind of glancing at his game log from 2019, it kind of looks like Jackson's worst game.
When your
It's,
top
like, hard to
receivers are
say.
Willie
Like,
Snead
say
and
hi.
Seth Roberts.
Guys,
you're
we have
really-
more guests.
You're really like splitting hairs with trying to figure out what his worst game is. Maybe
Oh.
honestly, his worst game it looks like was at Pittsburgh in Week 5.
Another division game though. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
another
Like,
division.
any of these division
100.
games.
That game was 161 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 picks, but he still ran for 70 yards.
Oh my god!
Yeah, social distancing.
Look at these fucking. Look at the Browns
Look,
numbers.
I'm not necessarily worried about Jackson playing a divisional opponent. I don't know, man. Those Knicks running backs actually scare me.
Get Anthony Kyle back over here.
Um,
Tom.
Just Kyle, dude.
Okay, Kyle. Because I'm gonna
Kyle.
say Nick. I'm gonna say Nick wins the matchup. Kyle, in a matchup of Tom and Nick, who wins
In a matchup of me and Nick, who wins?
What?
in the
In
playoffs?
the playoffs.
Wrestling.
He said me.
All right, we're gonna move you on then. All right, next matchup is Phil versus Lucho. Oh,
Wait. Alex, what did you say? Nick?
I ended up picking Nick, but
Yeah.
it's so close.
All right.
The next matchup, Phil versus Lucho, the Friends matchup.
Friends. Fuck
Oh,
that
sorry.
guy.
Sorry. Lucho, let me get your thoughts on what you think about playing Phil.
Wait, let me. Who's on my team?
Do you still only have the one dynasty team?
Which team?
Lucho's actually in 39 leagues.
Well, I mean, yeah, let's look at these. I mean, I love all my players.
That's good.
And
All right, Coach
I
Speak.
hate all of his. So, that's late in the year. That could be when rookies actually have a pretty decent stranglehold
Ooh, just
on
like
jobs. if they
your
get
year
them.
last year,
Yeah,
when Miles Sanders and Singletary really
Yep.
turned it on.
when they actually started playing. Could be Cam Akers and DeAndre Swift in those roles, and he's got Drake and Connor, Coleman. Coleman's probably a good bet. Connor will probably be hurt. Drake, we don't know. He has me in running backs. Brandon Ayuk, he'll have Debo Samuel back, so that'll actually draw on both of those. Oda, who's Cleveland playing?
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
It's probably a good game for him. Gallup.
I don't know, man. Baltimore is
That's
that Ed
close.
Reed guy.
They got that Ray Lewis guy.
Yeah.
I mean, you figure who were like the X factor players, like who,
Between
who,
us?
like who scares you the most
For
in
him?
that matchup for both of you. You figure you're going to rely on the Eagles with Wentz
Yeah, I
and
got it.
Sanders if they're there, and the Eagles play the Saints Week 14 at home.
Interesting. I actually kind of like that at home. I'm gonna have all 5 fans there. Socially distanced, of course. The only 2 players that I'm really like concerned about for him at that point in the year would be Hunter Henry and Allen Robinson.
Oh no, Hunter Henry plays the Falcons.
Yeah. Oh shit.
That's good for him.
Oh no.
And what'd you say, Allen Robinson?
Yeah.
And the Bears play. Oh, the Bears play Houston.
The Texans, oh boy.
Oh.
That'll be a slow game probably.
Maybe.
I have you winning that matchup, Lucho.
All right, we got to vote for Lucho. Mike, what do you say?
It's so tough. Like
That's really close. Yeah.
it should be close on paper.
There's
I
so
mean,
much
I
projection
feel
in
like
there too with all of his rookies.
That's the
know.
big part for me.
That's well, you already have Sean McVay saying the 49ers have the blueprint for running backs, so who knows if Cam Akers even gonna have any sort of consistent role
Yeah.
for as far as his running backs go. Man, it's just tough. I think I like Lucho's team a little more. The receivers put it over the top for me. The depth is there.
All right, Luch, who do you have winning?
Oh, that's so close. His quarterbacks are better than mine. I'm gonna go with Phil.
And
By
I'm
a
also
hair.
going with Phil. by a hair. So hey, is Kyle still around, Tom?
He went downstairs with Anthony.
Oh, no.
Probably wrestling. But I think what puts you over the edge, Lucho, is I think David Montgomery he doesn't need to take a huge step personally. The volume he's going to get on the Bears, especially at the end of the season in Week 14, I think you're going to see the benefits of him being like the only guy besides Robinson on that offense.
Hopefully. I just his quarterbacks are better than mine, and that's in a super flex. I think that's going to be what pushes him over the edge. Is him being able to start Prescott.
What if by the end of the year it's only Dak? Like, what if Bridgewater's not impressive, and what if?
I'm very high on Bridgewater. I think that's coloring my.
I Kirk Cousins, but
I'm not.
Like Cousins, do the Vikings play on Monday night? Then he's fucked.
Yeah.
No, they play the Bucks in Tampa.
Bad defense.
No, I don't think they're a bad defense.
I don't know about that.
They've got actually a really good pass rush. The only thing that's questionable with them is their secondary, but they've got a lot of young guys in that secondary too.
They've done.
So, and I've always been a big proponent that a pass rush means more to a secondary than the actual talent of the secondary. Yes, if you're terrible in the secondary, then they'll exploit that, but you could be an average to above average player in the secondary, and you'll look like a perennial Pro Bowl player if you have a really good pass rush in front of you.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I got to go Phil. I'm still going Phil. That means it's tied up. It's 2-2. We don't have a tiebreaker anymore. I don't know what to.
I went to the playoffs last year. Let's let Phil go.
I was gonna say, I thought you were about to be like, well, my team has the experience, so
my team's been there before, so we know
right,
what it's like.
You want me to yell down to Kyle?
Yeah, do it.
All right, stand by. So Kyle, who wins between Lucho and Phil?
Oh,
and
there it is.
Lucho moves on. So Lucho, you were the.
You guys heard that?
Yeah.
This
Lucho,
mic is incredible.
You were the 5 seed, and Tom, you were the 3 seed. So that would mean that Mike versus Tom, and Lucho, you versus me.
Finally.
So we'll. What do you mean finally? It's the same matchup as.
Oh,
in the same time. So Michael Thomas can break another record.
If
that
Michael
week.
Thomas breaks another fucking record and beats me by 1 catch.
All right, so now let's start with the Mike and Tom matchup. This is funny. Look at this. The top 4 teams, little guys on the podcast.
Wow, look at us.
We just have to continue. We had to continue the podcast circle jerk.
So I'll say off the bat that so just glancing at the Week 15 schedule, so Josh Allen in Denver, I hate that already because Bills at Broncos Week 15. I don't know. I don't trust it. Like, I understand Josh Allen plays in Buffalo with weather, but I don't know. Just going to Denver doesn't appeal to me at all.
That's in there. Josh Allen's going to throw the ball out of the stadium.
But
99 power ranking in Madden, but his accuracy is a 50.
Yeah. Your other quarterback matchup is probably exactly what you want it to be.
Right. I didn't even see who the Saints play. The Bills.
They played
Broncos.
The Chiefs in New Orleans, so they're going to have to really throw a ton.
That works for me, yeah.
So.
And you think with the speed that
and in New Orleans
that the Chiefs score at, they're probably going to have the ball on offense a lot more.
Oh man!
And then dark
I
horse.
really don't want to play Dennis in the semifinal with Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce in New Orleans.
Yep.
And
it's almost better that if I would avoid. If I know I would want to avoid Alex if the standings work itself out, because I don't want to face Michael Thomas against the Chiefs throwing all day in New Orleans. But again, that's another one. But, and then under
covering 7-yard slants.
Under.
Thanks, dude.
And then underrated matchup: dark horse Chargers at Raiders. If Justin Herbert has to step in,
I think that's an outstanding game for Herbert to get. Really be comfortable in.
It's a Thursday night for what it's worth.
Oh.
So erase any thoughts you had, get rid of them.
Zeke plays the 49ers.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Well, you never know. They traded DeForest
Aaron
Buckner
Jones.
and now they have that rookie in place. So
Aaron Jones plays Carolina, which is good.
Yeah, that's better.
I mean, if you wanted to start Mostert it's against the Cowboys, and then Josh Jacobs, like you said, is against
Chargers.
Chargers. Okay.
I think
And
Jacobs
then-
is a good matchup against the Chargers.
Mike, who are your starting wide receivers?
At this point, Stephon Diggs,
So Diggs is playing in
the
Denver.
Broncos.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's
again,
sucks.
questionable.
Yeah, they have
I guess
AJ Bouye
AJ
now?
Brown. AJ Brown. Where the fuck are the Titans?
Do they have AJ Bouye?
Yeah, AJ Bouye.
Titans
Denver.
play the Lions. That's actually a good matchup.
That could be a pretty high scoring game.
I guess Adam Thielen,
And that's against Miami,
questionable.
which is by that point might be interesting.
Yeah. Xavier
Um,
Howard.
Let's see. And then like to kind of look at, and then where you said the 49ers Cowboys, so that's
Cowboys,
George Kittle.
yeah.
That's George Kittle against the
That's-
Cowboys. I don't hate that.
Which is fine. It's
That's good.
whatever.
Unless-
So then to
If they
flip it
move
for
Chidobe
Tom,
Awuzie to safety.
For me, I wrote down a couple of my players I looked up.
Yeah.
I got Lamar Jackson at home against the Jaguars.
that's an L for Baltimore, right?
Yeah. In turn, I have Leonard Fournette away against the Ravens.
Oof.
That's not good.
Tyus
Dalvin
Bowser
Cook.
gonna eat.
I have Dalvin Cook at home against Chicago.
Mm.
It's tough.
That's okay. It's okay.
It's
for
Dalvin- it's
rushing.
Dalvin Cook,
It's
though.
for rushing. I mean, it's not,
Yeah. I have Chris
that
Godwin.
might be the difference, though. They're not going to throw if Khalil Mack is breathing down
That's true. Well,
Kirk
they
Cousins'
might
neck the whole
they-
game. They're really not going to throw.
Even if
They-
they do,
they'll throw
they're short
underneath
routes,
to-
yeah.
And do
Cook,
they
yeah.
have to against Chicago? That's the thing. They might be able to just control the clock the whole game.
I have Godwin away against Atlanta.
Well, that's
Oof.
great.
Oof.
Unless AJ Terrell.
AJ
People, a
Terrell,
lot of
yeah.
I said a lot of people are thinking Godwin takes a big step back because of Tom
Oh yeah,
Brady.
he'd be
I
playing the
don't.
slot anyway. So
I don't.
think he
I don't
takes-
see
I
Ooh,
it.
think
playing the
he's the
slot might be a
same.
little difficult if Keanu Neal's there.
Yeah.
Just to,
And who's
I mean, it might be
the
more of
other
a
one?
Mike Evans
Who's the
might be-
other slot corner they have? The slot corner?
now. I don't know who they're playing in the slot right now because they're moving guys around because we have all those. I think it's gonna be why am I blanking on his name? Who was playing in Ricardo Allen's place and had that really good led the league in interceptions? Why I don't know why I'm blanking on his name. I'm sorry. I played him in Madden.
In the meantime, I forgot what I was gonna say. Shit.
In the meantime, I have Devontae Adams at home against the Panthers that week.
That's
That's
good.
a great matchup.
Then I have Tyler Boyd / T. Higgins at home against the Steelers.
That's not a very good matchup.
That's not
Uh,
great.
Kazee, by the way,
Yeah.
he's
Devontae
probably
Kazee.
playing the slot.
And I have obviously Matt Ryan's going to be playing the Buccaneers.
Yeah,
Mike, to your point
Wait,
about
is that in it? Is
Oh,
that in
which-
Atlanta?
it is.
in Atlanta.
And
Then okay.
I don't care about the new Bucks team. Matt Ryan, Julio Jones tear up that team every time they play them.
I know.
Yep.
I would have said maybe if it's in Tampa, there's that outside shot of
Yeah, no.
a dud game.
I even think, well, as far as Godwin goes, I think it benefits him being indoors in Atlanta.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think it's more. I think it's just more they're gonna feed Mike Evans because he's
Yeah,
going up against a rookie
it's
cornerback.
just it's
We'll
it's
see if Brady
reading.
can throw.
That's true.
Right, that's the other thing. Like I think I don't talent wise, Brady isn't a step back from Jameis Winston, but fantasy numbers wise, it potentially might be.
Yeah.
My volume is almost definitely going to go down, but
Yeah,
the efficiency, like I was just looking at this like before the show started. Brady's efficiency numbers, even as he was getting older, even last year, are so much better than what Jameis's.
Crazy. It's
right,
crazy.
It's
But
gonna
right,
be.
but
it's
in
gonna be a
terms of
wash.
right, and in terms of it's just in terms of fantasy, where's the ball going?
Yeah.
Does Tyler Johnson make a dent in people's?
I
in
doubt it.
Numbers,
OJ
you know?
Howard.
Rob
That's
Gronkowski.
more of a potential.
Right, Gronk
yeah.
too. So it's just like, I mean, but we can go through every fucking team and do this with teams additions,
I mean,
subtractions.
The one other thing
It's
that
just-
Tom has again that hurts you, Mike, is Jared Cook. When you have Drew Brees throwing a ton, Jared Cook. In that case,
Right.
if Drew Brees is throwing a ton, Jared Cook is going to get his
Adam
Yeah,
Troutman
in
exactly.
those
backup.
games. So you know what? I'm going Tom.
I think I am too. I don't like some of my it comes down to my quarterback matchups. I don't like my quarterback matchups if it comes down to it.
Lucho or Tom. What are you going?
I am not going Tom.
Okay, Luch. What are you going?
I'm looking at both teams right now. I was paying attention the whole time. And oh Christ. I gotta give it to Tom.
Yeah, this is why I said
Tom moves
before.
on.
Yeah, this is why I
Wow.
said before. I don't like. This is why I said when Tom was doing his rankings. I don't think if this is how it turns out, I don't want to sign up for these rankings. I'll take the 6 seed again over, and take my chances over, or maybe the 5 seed, and take my chances over playing Tom, and getting stuck with Tom in the semifinal. It was my fear last year, and it seems like it'll happen this year.
According to my projections.
All right, Mike, that would be a big loss for you. I mean, after 2
Yeah.
wins in the keeper league. and
Well,
then
this is why I
winning
said
Dynasty.
one way or another. I'm in for a rude awakening after
It's gotta
considering,
happen someday.
Like I haven't lost in a league since 2017 technically, so it's got to happen. Like I just can't keep winning as much as I'd like to. I know that's not realistic. So
Yeah, Mike. Hey, look at this.
Hey, Tom, have you ever won a league?
No, I came in 3rd once.
And Luch, the last time you won was 2013?
No. It was later than that.
To be fair, this is only going to be my
Well, did you win the
5th
college
season.
league?
It's only going to be my 5th
I'm not
season I'm
gonna-
ever playing.
Oh, I think 2013 was when you won the keeper league, because I'm pretty sure 2014 is when I won the keeper league.
I thought
Hold
we
on.
were-
And
And then
I thought
Joey
we
went
were out of
15,
college.
16. And then Joey
Hold
went
on.
15, 16.
don't worry, guys. I'll check.
So when I came in the league, Joey won his first year.
15, I think.
That was my first ever year playing fantasy.
Oh
Luch,
yeah,
you did win
2013.
13.
There you go.
I haven't won since 2014 in any league, so.
Yeah, there you go. There's your winner. So yes,
Oh
2013.
yeah, Dad. I forgot about Dad in 2017. That's what throws everything off.
Why
The
did we
auto draft.
burn-
The
we
fumble
should have
against
burned this
Skylar.
trophy when he won.
All right, well, let's move on to Luch, yours and my matchup. So I'll go through my team real quick. So Patrick Mahomes playing the Saints.
Sucks.
My choice between Big Ben versus Cincy in Cincy,
Awful. Wouldn't want to
Or-
make that choice.
or Drew Lock at home versus the Bills.
Oof,
At this point,
sock.
I would
I'll
probably
take
go.
Big Ben.
No, see, but Big Ben's away, so I'd probably go.
Yeah,
to-
but the Buffalo defense is still very good. As much as being in Denver scares me, I think the Bills defense is
the
too
Broncos are also a better team in general
Better,
than
but-
the Steelers. So
All
I
those
mean, that'd be
weapons.
tough. That'd be tough. I don't think either of them is that great a matchup. So it's just really Mahomes.
I don't know if I
then my
think the
ru-
Broncos are that much better than the Steelers. It's pretty close.
I meant their offense.
Oh.
Just in general, the Broncos offense to the Steelers offense, I think is much better.
Mhm.
I was talking about his fantasy. Sorry. Yeah, overall team wise, I think they're pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah.
Denver has a very good defense too, but I think just Mike Tomlin coaching brings it a step up over Vic Fangio.
Mhm.
My running backs, Joe Mixon against the Steelers.
Oof, bump. Glad I got rid of him.
That's okay. It's not the best. It's not the worst. It's also on a Monday night too, that game. So I don't know how many, if I'm starting Big Ben and then Joe Mixon, do I want all these guys for the last night to watch?
good. Ooh.
It's usually
pressure.
better when it's your players than someone else's. Luch, you have any Steelers or Bengals on your team anymore?
Ooh, I don't think so.
Didn't I take both of them
got-
from
you got all of mine.
Deontay Johnson and Yeah.
Can I say for Lucho's team quick? So the Eagles duo, you're at Arizona, and then Cam Newton. It's always that weird Pats at Dolphins game that the Pats always seem to
Oh.
lose.
The late season Pats Dolphins game.
They just I don't know if maybe it was a Brady thing, maybe it's a change of course with Cam Newton, but they always lose that game. Like when they play the Dolphins late, if the Pats will be like, what's that, week 15? They'll be like 11-2 or some shit like that, and then they'll always like slip up and lose that game, whatever the math is, 12-2 or something at that point. Whatever.
Continuing with my running backs. Mark Ingram plays the Jaguars, which is great.
Mm.
Or I could do
Or J.K. Dobbins.
yeah, well, whatever. Or I could go with I can't find the Texans on here. They play the Colts, so probably not David Johnson.
Yeah.
Probably would be Mark Ingram over that.
Yeah.
My wide receivers.
Brian
so Michael
Hill.
Thomas. Obviously, Michael Thomas playing the Chiefs. That's great. DeAndre Hopkins now on the Cardinals. Yeah, so against the Eagles, I think that's pretty decent. Keenan Allen playing the Raiders. That's solid.
Yeah, that's
and I guess
nice.
Julian Edelman. I might throw Julian Edelman in to try to counter some of this Cam stuff. If you start Cam, like that's what it looks like it's going to be, or maybe some of my other guys will have stepped up by that point. But that's probably more Julian Edelman over David Johnson. And then tight end. If Evan Ingram is actually healthy, he's playing the Browns. Which, if he's healthy, that's
If he's healthy, that's
fantastic.
amazing.
If he's not, then it's actually Tyler Higbee playing the Jets. So
Yeah.
that's pretty good too.
Well,
So okay, Luch, your team. Go ahead.
okay. Well, we mentioned Wentz and Cam, and Miles Sanders. I don't have the.
And it's so. By the way, based on the last matchup we had in the playoffs, it's so annoying when Wentz and Miles Sanders are just getting all these dump off
are
passes
getting
together,
connected.
and then the one thing I'm like, please just don't throw a touchdown to Miles Sanders, and they throw a touchdown to Miles Sanders. I'm like, oh, perfect. The one thing I don't want them just at least hand it off to him.
You never know. You might get lucky and he throws a touchdown to Jalen Reagor.
Oh, maybe. If by that point it would be probably not luck. If it was luck, he's probably not in my starting lineup.
Or it'll screw both of us and he'll throw a touchdown to Dallas Goedert and I'll have him on my bench.
Right.
I don't
Maybe
have
he'll throw
the
to JJ Arcega-Whiteside.
Jabberjaw. I don't have the NFL
Greg Ward
matchups.
Oh, okay. So just name off your players.
Chicago.
Chicago.
Wow. You have Chicago as a player?
I was playing Minnesota. in
Johnny
Minnesota.
Chicago. Minnesota. David Montgomery, welcome to the bench. Buffalo was playing who?
Denver in Denver.
Denver.
Ooh, rough.
I
I
think I'd
don't know.
rather
I
have
like
Montgo-
Singletary a little bit.
I was gonna
better
say I think
than
I'd rather have Montgomery.
that. It all depends on how that
Minnesota's
goes.
defense isn't as good as it used to be.
Also, those indoor games at the end of the season are huge.
Yeah, that's true.
And then wide receivers. This is like, take your pick.
Julio playing the Buccaneers.
Julio the Bucks.
Like I said.
Mike Evans against Atlanta. Rookie
Oh,
corner on the
no.
side. DJ Moore. Carolina's playing
Green Bay.
Green Bay. Oh,
In
In
Green Bay.
Green
That's the
Bay.
thing. That's the one of those outside games that might make a difference.
If it's
Yeah.
snowing in Green Bay, he's not going to get the ball.
but then you got Houston playing
The Colts.
the Colts.
Sucks.
Iffy. I might like if Cooks is healthy. I might like him over more. Bob Woods, L.A.
Playing the Jets. You'd be starting.
Oh,
him
yeah,
over
yep.
Cooks.
Bobby Trees.
So I think you got me on wide receivers. To be honest.
I think it's close.
I think I got you on running back.
Yeah. And
Quarterbacks.
then-
I think I still like my quarterbacks over yours.
you think?
And then
You only have like the best quarterback in the league.
for
Best
tight
passing
end.
quarterback.
Who would you be starting? You got either Hooper versus
Hooper,
the Giants.
Andrews, Goddard.
Andrews versus
Jaguars.
the Jaguars. That's probably it
Ooh,
too.
that's beautiful.
Man, this is a tough one, man. It depends on if Michael Thomas is going for a record again. If
Yeah.
he is, I'm gonna say me. If he's not, I think I'm gonna say you.
Much like before, I think quarterback pushes it over the edge for me, so it's going to be you.
Mike, what do you think?
It's tough. I mean, it's definitely close. I mean, it's like when Lucho lists his wide receivers. It's like I forget that Alex just rattled off Michael Thomas, DeAndre Hopkins, and Keenan Allen.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like I think Lucho's receivers. Like I want to say better matchups, but fuck, I don't know.
I don't
I
think
might
you can
say-
say better matchups. Honestly, you just said Nuke and Thomas have amazing matchups.
I know. Fuck though, it's tough. I think the better overall just talent is on Alex's team. I think I have to give Alex the slight nod, but you never know.
Mm-hmm.
All these playoff matchups are close. We clearly haven't seen a blowout like potential at all.
Tom, what about you?
Give it to Alex, and I really give it to Alex for the reason that Lucho's going to be relying on Cam, and if push comes to shove, If Cam has a good day, he's throwing to Edelman, and Alex can neutralize Cam by playing Edelman. And that right there, I think, screws Lucha pretty bad. So I have Alex winning that matchup.
All right. We got 3 votes for me. Lucha, I am going to go with you by a hair because I don't think Michael Thomas will be going for a record for 2 years in a row. Or at least I hope not.
What's going to
I
end
mean, for
up
fantasy
happening?
purposes would be great, but I hope not for my sanity.
I think the X factor could be if Alex's super flex busts, because if Big Ben's just not, if he just shows that he can't be a starter, and if Drew Luck runs into a tough matchup and your super flex bombs, I think that could have the potential to kind of flip it.
But
Maybe
then
just
my Superflex has just as much of a potential to bust.
well,
'cause
right. We covered
know.
covered that with the New England at Miami weird fluke game that happens every year. That's not really a fluke.
But even that, Wentz is very likely to be hurt at some point in the year.
That's also true. And then, right again, I mean, this is also taking away injuries. I mean, you never fucking know. But when healthy, it's so tough. I honestly think the potential that if Cam is at what he was in 2017, I guess was the last time he really played a full season. If he's
Well, if
somehow
he is what
if
he
he's
was at,
near,
if he's healthy and was playing at the standard he was at the beginning of 2018, that's
right. If
fucking
he's
amazing.
anywhere near that for the season, I'll give you the super flex advantage in that matchup, because I don't think Miami.
I think that's
would
what
stop that.
evens out the quarterbacks though, because then you can like put Cam as your starter and then Wentz as your super flex. So yeah, he's a super
Right.
flex, but I think obviously Mahomes is ahead of both
Right.
otherwise. So it's,
Easily.
and that's
No,
why I
right.
say it's it would be such a close
Yeah.
matchup again, just like last year where it was a 1 point difference.
I think the
But-
only, in terms of like positional advantage, I think the only positional advantage I have against you is tight end. And unfortunately, that's a onesie position.
And it's I mean, and it depends. It's all of it is on Evan Ingram's health, because when he
Mhm.
was healthy, he was the best tight end of the league last year.
Yep.
So, all right, moving on to the final of me versus Tom. Look at week 17 really quick.
Also,
Or week 16.
just
Sorry, we
uh,
don't play our finals in week 17.
Just a small
Idiots.
tidbit, small little thing here. Julian Edelman's never had a 100-yard reception game against Miami.
Yeah, that's fine. If he gets his touchdown and his 10 receptions,
Oh
for
shit.
80 yards.
Last year, he had 4 receptions for 51 and 3 receptions for 26, no touchdowns.
So what does that? But then what does that mean for the Patriots quarterback too? That's the tough part.
Yeah,
But it doesn't affect Cam as much as it does Brady, because Cam runs faster than 2 miles an hour.
Cam, yes, even Cam on a bum ankle is still faster than Brady. So
I'm faster than Tom Brady. And I get winded going up the stairs to my apartment.
all right, week 16 matchups.
So I mean, I'm going to quickly give an early edge to Tom here, because the Ravens are home against the Giants week 16.
Yeah, well, the Chiefs are at home versus the Falcons, so
Oh,
that's a big
that,
thing. Tom,
the Giants game has more of a potential.
who's your
to
super
be-
flex? So Matt Ryan and that
Matt
would be-
Ryan.
yeah.
Mm.
The last time Matt Ryan played the Chiefs, I'm pretty sure we lost because we went for a 2-point conversion and he threw a pick 2. They were going for the win, or no, not they were going for the win. I don't remember. They were going for whatever, and they lost because of a pick 2. So,
I guess
that's-
underrated. The Ravens Giants could be Lamar Jackson's on the bench by halftime. It could be that bad of a beatdown.
That's true.
The Steelers are playing the Colts, and the Steelers are at home, or the Broncos are away at the Chargers, which might as well be a home game. So,
Wow. Always throwing jabs.
running backs, Tom. Who are your running backs again?
Fournette, Cook.
Fournette's in Jacksonville, but against Chicago. Cook is playing the Saints in New Orleans.
I actually think Fournette against Chicago is a blessing in disguise because they're not going to throw the ball against that defense.
Damn it!
It's true. You good over there?
Fucking bug in the house, as always.
Golly.
Are those your only
Summer.
2, by the way? Oh, you have Keyshawn Vaughn, right?
I have Keyshawn Vaughn.
Yeah, playing Detroit. So if he actually becomes something, that's a great matchup.
Moves to come.
The Ravens, Mark Ingram playing the Giants is awesome. Joe Mixon's playing Houston, which is solid too. And then also that means that David Johnson's playing Cincinnati.
Who's running
So-
the defense for the Giants?
It's a good question. I don't remember anymore. I don't know who Joe
They-
Judge
they-
hired.
Yeah, because they fired the other coordinators. Oh my god, Mike, this is God.
Yeah, it might be rough
It's-
times for the
It's
Giants.
Patrick Graham. Remember when he got hired and was like,
No.
"Who the hell is that?"
That's right. Everyone knows who's coaching the offense.
Um, wide receivers.
You guys watching have figured out who the Cowboys fan in the room is.
Every time you look at the sideline, you just see him, and he's got binary in his eyes: 001, 011, and 00.
Three in there. Is this quantum computing, Luch?
Yeah,
Adam?
All right, wide receivers. I can't even remember who my wide receivers are anymore. The Saints are playing the Vikings.
Pretty
The
wait.
they
The
got
Saints
didn't they
are
get
playing
rid
the
of what's his
Vikings?
name? Oh yeah, I know. I think that game is on Christmas too.
Oh,
man.
shit! You know
Oh.
Santa's from Minnesota.
It's in New Orleans though,
Oh,
which is
fuck.
even better. Which is even better for Minnesota. to
He
be
can't
honest.
vacation that night. He's working.
I always look at the Cardinals when I look for. I mean, I always look at the Texans when I look for DeAndre Hopkins. I have to remember to look at the Cardinals. They're playing the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
Keenan Allen's playing the Broncos, which sucks. Patriots, they got somebody on. They're playing somebody week 16.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
You
Couldn't tell you who
in
because I
2020,
don't see
we
them on
aren't
the list.
sure if they're playing somebody week 16.
They might have a bye week because I don't see a bye week in
what
week
the fuck?
16.
That's
I don't see them on this list.
The Patriots.
You,
I'm seriously, they're not on the list.
who's
Google
Philly
messed
playing?
up.
Patriots week 16 are playing Buffalo at home.
Okay. There you
it's a
go.
tough game always.
That's
Yeah.
very tough
Buffalo's
game.
defense.
Tom, your wide receivers, Chris Godwin, is playing Detroit. That's great.
Yeah, it is.
I don't
Who's
remember who your
got
other wide receivers are.
that rookie, that first.
I have
rookie?
Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams is playing the Titans. That's
I have Boyd/Higgins,
playing Houston.
and I have Marvin Jones.
He is playing the Buccaneers. So decent. And then your
Yeah.
tight ends, Jared Cook.
Jared Cook, yeah.
Jared Cook is playing, like we said, the Vikings. Who else you got?
Doyle
Doyle playing the Steelers. That's not good.
and Fant. Noah Fant.
And Fant is playing the Chargers. And then I would get Evan Ingram versus the Ravens, which sucks. And then Tyler Higbee versus the Seahawks. Were the Seahawks a team that the tight end was good against recently? Or was that
I actually think so. Last year,
that might be a blessing in disguise, but
This seems like a pretty interesting matchup.
it does. It does. Mike,
Mike,
who's your pick?
I think the running back matchups are too good, and then the wide receiver talent is better, and just the matchups are like it just doesn't work out. Like there's not a lot of tough matchups, like you said, with Mark Ingram against the Giants. With who did the Chiefs play? I forgot
Falcons.
what you said. Yeah, I mean, I think I like Alex in this matchup. I think the matchups are there, and I think that just puts it over the top for me.
Lucho.
Seattle was they gave up the third most fantasy points per game to tight ends
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really I might give it to Tom.
I
Barely?
wonder if I don't. I mean, I know week 17 the Ravens sat Jackson because they clinched stuff. Like, if they're that runaway good again, and they clinch stuff, would they possibly bench him week 16 against the Giants? Or
there's
do
an
you think
extra. They're extra playoff spots, so they might be in week 16.
That's the thing. There's an extra playoff spot, but there's one less bye week, so that I don't think there'll be as many players getting sat.
There's no
Yeah.
week 12 bye week.
So I don't think that anyone gets sat in week 16. I think there's even less teams that get sat in week 17 just because there's the only one bye week.
True, that's true.
So let's look at it this way: QB1 is a wash for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're both good
Uh,
matchups.
QB2 goes to Tom.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yep.
RB1, also a wash. RB2 goes to Sape. Sorry. Apologies to Leonard Fournette. Wide receiver core, let's say Adams, Boyd, Godwin, versus blah 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 blah. Not Keenan Allen, probably Rager at that point or Johnson. That's a complete wash for me. And then Evan Ingram versus Jack Doyle versus Jared Cook, Tyler Higbee. Yeah, no, it's
the Higbee is what's the big thing there.
Yeah.
The Higbee might make the difference, man. I'm gonna pick myself. I'm gonna be confident in myself.
I'm gonna go with you. Yeah.
Tom?
I'm going with myself.
We got 3-1 me.
I'm playing with myself.
All right, well, that settles it. I guess Alex can just keep the money.
Yeah, I guess I don't. We don't even need to play season. If it gets
Good
canceled.
season,
coronavirus,
guys.
I'll just give myself the championship.
I'm glad we
So-
did this. This was our
Fuck!
Yeah.
Why'd we do this episode? No.
This was our just in case anything
this
gets
one-
canceled.
Was this one of your one of your plans for on a future episode too, Mike? Now we have one less episode to go over.
No, but now. Oh no! Why have we agreed to make this the standings if it gets canceled?
Well, I mean, Tom, at least you win $300 in this case.
That's true. That's
and then
true.
who got? Oh, the third place matchup. We
Oh,
didn't do
oh,
the-
yeah.
Do we?
We'll
Hey
do it
man, this is very
extremely quick.
important to
Wanna-
me. This is how I
Extremely
play for
quick.
free.
You wanna
Lucho versus
split?
Mike. Lucho, you got Cam playing the Bills. You got Carson Wentz playing the Cowboys.
Oh, Wentz
got,
loves dicing up the Cowboys.
Miles Sanders versus the Cowboys. You got Montgomery versus the Jaguars.
Good.
Yeah, you're the Bills against the Patriots. Singletary's probably on the bench.
Bye.
Julio against the Chiefs. Name some of your other wide receivers again.
Brandon Cooks.
DJ Moore versus the
DJ
Redskins.
Moore.
Or sorry, DJ Moore
Whoa,
versus the
whoa!
Washington Football Club. It still says it on Google. It's
Goodness.
Google's fault.
Fucking racist Google.
Yeah.
Brandon
Fuck.
Cooks playing the Seahawks. I mean, Robert Woods playing the Seahawks. Brandon Cooks playing the Bengals. You got a good matchups here, man.
Yeah.
And then your tight ends, Hooper playing the Jets, or Andrews playing.
I don't understand why everyone has to
Giants.
laugh after they say the word Jets. That's a little insulting.
Dude, I
Luch,
saw
you
a
got
stat.
really good matchups in this final. If you make it to the final, Luch, you have. the
I
best
honestly might start 3 Eagles that week, dude. Are they playing in Jerry World?
matchups. They are.
Yeah, I might start all 3 of my Eagles that week.
Man.
Fly Eagles fly, dude.
I mean, but Mark Andrews is playing the Giants.
I can start both of them.
That's true. That's
Fuck
true.
Bobby
You got a lot of
Trees.
choices. Mike, you got at quarterback Drew Brees playing the Vikings. You got Josh Allen playing the Patriots.
Oof.
You got Zeke playing Philly.
It's a good
You got-
matchup.
Josh Jacobs playing Miami.
That's
a very
You
good
got
matchup.
Aaron Jones playing Tennessee.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Mostert, if you really want to start Mostert against Arizona, so in case you wanted to throw a guy in.
That's not bad.
Your wide receivers, Thielen playing New Orleans. Diggs
pretty
playing, like we
Nope.
said,
Diggs probably on the bench.
AJ Brown playing the Packers. This is in Green Bay on
Ooh.
a Monday night too, so it might be one of those.
Lucho could potentially
old-
flex John Brown because Stephon Gilmore would just be all over Diggs.
I don't remember the rest of your wide
That'd be
receivers. So
the
I'm gonna move to
definition
George.
of
DJ
a
Chark,
flex.
AJ Brown.
DJ Chark playing Chicago. AJ Brown, I already
Oof.
said playing Green
Oh,
Green
yeah.
Bay at night.
Calvin Ridley. I was
Playing the
forgetting about
Chiefs,
him.
that'd probably be your guy.
Ridley's
And then you got George Kittle versus the Cardinals, which is fantastic. But I'm giving that match to Lucho because his matchups were just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So,
also giving that to Lucho.
Man, Micah, no money year.
that'd be depressing. That's always a nice Christmas time Venmo to get.
Luch, you
I'll
got third
take
place
it.
last year, right?
Yeah.
2 straight years.
That's what I'm saying. This is how I play for free. This
You know
was
what's
that
if
an
you
Uncut
win
Gems.
if you win third place 2 years in a row, you get the third year basically for free because it's $150.
Oh, is that what it said
That's
on the
true.
coupon?
Yes,
Yes.
buy 2 get 1 free.
Dick, dude.
We have our last segment. You guys want to talk about this real quick?
Yeah.
The Tom segment of what matchup are you most looking forward
Oh,
to? throughout the
Oh,
season?
this is huge. This is big time.
I think I know mine.
All right, you started off then, bro. Kick it off.
So, my matchup, while maybe it won't be the best matchup to watch, but I really, really, really want to see an Anthony Kyle matchup because all this talk now, Kyle saying how he's not going to be the worst team, Anthony is going to be the worst team.
Mm-hmm.
So you got the heated part of their like little rivalry here, and then also just the fact that I know it goes by potential points, but I really want to see if there's one team that's if someone blows the other out of the water, I think that'd be pretty funny. But I do want to see which team ends up being the victor of that and not being the worst team in the league.
All right. I'm not mad at that.
I think for me, what I'm most looking, and I mean, I hate to put myself in it, but honestly, that Week 11, me and Alex matchup, because if we are projected to be the two top teams,
and a late matchup is cool.
Going into Week 11, I mean, who's going to be that could be what decides maybe potentially the 1 seed if everything plays out like Tom's
either that or a bye.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
If someone else, if we're
clearly after this, I'm not going to want the fucking 2 seed if this plays out because I just have just a shit. I'll get a shit draw all around.
You're gonna get your fucking guts rearranged against me.
Because
way,
you
week
already
3,
said that.
That's Week 11. Week 3 is the Kyle and Anthony matchup, so we won't have to wait very long for that one. And there's no bye week, so it's a really good straight up who's better.
Because you said that matchup, that was probably my first choice. But where is he? Week 12. I really want to see Denny Cashman and Tom Pupaduplex Moose.
Ooh, that actually is a good one.
I think that's 2 rising teams that I really want to see play.
All right.
So before we move on real quick to Tom, who did you have winning Week 3 between Anthony and Kyle?
Week 3?
Yeah.
Stand by for results. I had Kyle winning that matchup.
Who'd you have winning between me and Mike Week 11?
Week 11, I have you winning, Alex.
And that's because Mike, you had some crucial bye.
And Week 12, who are we talking about in Week 12?
Dennis and Phil.
Dennis and Phil. I have Phil beating Dennis.
Okay, and Tom, your most anticipated matchup.
My most anticipated matchup highlights a recent rivalry. It is Dennis versus Anthony. I just would love to see Anthony beat Dennis.
And that's a Week 10.
Week 10, yeah.
That's a
Who
Week
won
10
that one
matchup.
on yours?
On mine? Let's see. I have Anthony winning.
Oh, man.
Oh, Dennis, listen, I know you're going to text me. You're going to be a little upset at me about this. But, hey, look, you guys had trade talks. The dirty laundry was aired out on the podcast. There was some behind-the-scenes texts in the group me chat about it. I want to see this matchup. I'm scared of this matchup. All right? I'm social distancing myself from Anthony, and I live with him during this matchup. All right? This is what I want to see. And if I had to pick a backup, I'm just, throwing it out there, whatever. It's going to be me versus Phil. I hate you, Phil, and I'm coming for you.
If I had to pick a backup now, Tom, I think it's you versus me if that's our projected championship.
Yeah, no, that's a good one.
So we got a Week 6 matchup.
I will say if I have to pick technically a third, we start off the year very well with Alex Hawkberger sucks versus the Recknicking.
Ooh.
Yeah, but is that even a real rivalry anymore? Because I haven't heard about it in weeks.
That's true.
I haven't heard from.
You remember the good old days when they used to put the speed bump up?
Yeah,
remember the good old days?
That doesn't happen anymore.
The rivalry. It used to be the best.
The rivalry's dead. The rivalry's dead.
It's just because Alex is so busy with his new job of babysitting Nick.
Wow. That's true because Nick is Kyle's grandson. Also, I'm actually a little surprised none of you said Skylar versus Kyle because Kyle called out Skylar for being the worst trader.
Oh man,
Kyle
honestly,
the worst trader.
The Skylar Dennis matchup might be pretty big too.
Mm-hmm.
That's what is that? That's a Dennis is playing Skylar. well, I don't know what's week 8, and then Dennis is playing Kyle. Or Skylar's playing Kyle. That's what we're looking for. Week 9.
This is crazy.
We got some good matchups all throughout the whole year. And
Yeah.
all these ones were
Holy
every
shit.
single one was a different week. I think.
I'm looking at week 1. I just realized week 1 has a lot of good matchups.
Why don't you name
There are some good rivalry ones.
Yeah.
We're pretty lucky that it went out like this. We got Anthony versus Joey.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big start to the season there.
Your Dennis versus Phil
Yeah.
anticipated matchup.
There you go. Now I've pointed
The
to
Alex
comparison.
versus Nick. Yeah, that's pretty good. And that means that's also a week 12 matchup then.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Oh, that means Dennis versus Phil is also week 1. Yeah. Oh, those are some big anticipated matchups then. There's multiple of them.
Oh, I have to play. No, I have to play the autonomous zone week 1.
Do you?
Oh yeah, you
That's
play
Tom.
me. You play me.
Oh yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
Why fuck, dude? This is year 2, and I'm still fucking up looking at these teams.
I do it every time, especially. I'm so happy that Joey made it seem pink, because if it wasn't pink on the site, I every time I looked at it, I was saying the opposite.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
good matchups this year. I'm actually excited for the schedule. Assuming, hopefully, there's no hiccup in the football season.
Well, that's our. We've talked about it enough, but clearly this
Yeah.
is all like, what if the NFL is a fucking 12-game season? Like, what do we?
Well, before you know it, Kyle's winning the championship with Luke Falk going off.
No, Lucio's gonna win with Zach Stacy back.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
I already have my waiver claim in. $150.
Well worth it.
What's gonna happen?
Do you think if we offer him 150 blind bid dollars, he'll come on the podcast?
You just gotta whisper blind bid.
Yeah, I know, because if you offered him $150 in real dollars, he probably would do it. For
Mhm.
like,
I wouldn't pay that.
unfortunately, this is a long podcast. I was gonna say $150 an hour, but it's more like, I don't know, $60 an hour. The way we
Honestly,
usually-
Mike, I think that's a good idea. I'm going to start DMing some NFL talent to come
Do
on
it.
the podcast.
Dude, to be honest, they'll be boring as hell. Like, every time there's an athlete on whatever WFAN show, they're almost always so boring.
you need to
but
get
this
somebody.
would be more personal, you know.
Yeah,
You
so
need to
you
get-
you need someone that's retired that doesn't give a shit.
No. We need George Kittle,
Yeah.
You're right.
and it needs to be a
He'd be good.
wrestling podcast.
That's fine. I'll take over.
Well, that's how we
I don't
could
know,
get
man.
him. We can't afford George Kittle, the football player, but we could afford George Kittle, the wrestling enthusiast.
Ooh, yeah. This is
Yeah, there's
true.
definitely a few Lamar Jacksons out there.
We
we
found
can
a
get.
Lamar Jackson.
It's just gonna be Donovan McNabb from It's Always Sunny.
Here we have Lamar Jackson.
I'm
thanks
loving
for, Thanks for fucking me in the playoffs, Lamar.
Oh, man. I did actually
I'm gonna
want
do that
you guys.
for real now.
You guys made me realize there's something I wanted to broadcast on the podcast. Fortunately, we're putting it right at the end when no one's listening anymore. But if the season gets canceled at some point, do I just say there's no winner, or do I go by the standings? What do you guys think?
I think if we truly can't finish, it's just a wash. And honestly, I think the money
Okay.
just carries over to next year.
So
we
it
can
carries-
we can take the standings for like the draft and
That's
stuff.
exactly what I was going to say. So
But
if
I
we
think
get past,
money wise, because you can't predict it. It's not like fantasy, like hockey, where you were like right there for the
I
championship.
still
and then you
didn't.
got screwed.
No one was awarded any money for that. league,
Yeah,
so.
I don't think we can pay out based on like if it's like week 10 or something like.
So how far do you think? Okay, I agree with that. That I would transfer
I think
money over.
I
to
think
the
if
following
we
year.
don't, it's tough, man. Because I don't even want to say if the regular season's done. I feel like if we're into fuck, man. Maybe if we're in like the final 4, we all split the pot or some shit like that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll do you one. So I
Well-
like the idea of money carrying over, but you still get the win and you still get your name on the trophy
Okay.
Can
Oh,
I
like
put
first
a
place?
with an asterisk.
with an asterisk?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'm down for that.
Yeah,
I'm
that'll
down
be
for
the year I actually win with a fucking asterisk.
that.
I think, but I think like if it somehow gets to week, like I feel, and granted for the NFL, if they get as far as week 16 or 15, they're not canceling. Like they'll ride it out.
Mm-mm.
Like I think if the season gets called, it'll be like the
Week
first
8
half of the
or-
season. Or
You can
something.
postpone
So-
the playoffs. Yeah.
So how far do you think we need to get in the season for me to use these potential points and standings for the draft.
75%.
75% of the fantasy regular season.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like
For
week
what?
10. So that's
You brought
about
up
the same.
Yeah,
week
week
11,
9.
right, Sape?
I think I brought up week 11 because that means you played everyone once.
Mm.
That's a good idea.
So okay, week 11. But then
Also,
I feel like
also
that
if
point's
if
not
our
crazy.
projections are correct, first place might be that week 11 matchup for you and.
That's true. Oh, that would be kind of cool for the
Yeah.
trophy.
So
If-
that could be.
I
a
mean, we wouldn't
championship.
know it's about to get canceled because.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
But I
I think we
honestly-
would have a
now, if the
feel
season
on it.
now say the season gets canceled in week 3, how do we deal
I
with
think
that?
I think it's a wash, and we
Oh,
just you print the thing that says like no winner, and we just have
Yeah.
we just each it's like the Stanley Cup. Each
And for the-
team can get the trophy for
And
like
for
a
the
week or
draft,
something.
for the draft.
I don't know, man. We'll figure it out.
If
I
the
was
season
thinking-
gets canceled, undo all trades that happened this offseason.
Oh man.
No, it's part of the
I
risk,
mean-
man. It's just like how Alex
Yeah.
Hyper said: if everyone dies on a Carnival cruise, then that's your fault. So he made a
That's
good
your
point.
fault for believing in buoyancy.
I was thinking, I don't know if I brought this up on a podcast or not, or if I brought it up in a conversation. I was thinking of doing a weighted lottery.
Yep.
Whereas I know, Tom, I was definitely talking to you about this, where we'd go by last year's standings for one of the things. We'd go by the Fantasy Pros power rankings for another one. And then I forget what the third one was now.
We could do like a community ranking. We could set up like
Yeah,
straw poll or
There was something where I was going to do 3 different categories of weights. And if you're the last place team, like, so last year's standings where Kyle was the worst, he would get 12. Like if we did a balls thing, like how they do the actual lotto, he would get 12. And then Mike, you won, so you get 1 for that category. But there might be another category where Mike, you're the 3rd best team, so you would get 3 instead of 1. And then but Kyle might still be the last, so he would get another 12.
Can't wait to pull an NHL and be the to be determined.
And I was
And
gonna say,
get
then I
that
might do like
first
that.
pick,
Whereas, okay, yeah,
which I don't
Mike,
Yeah,
have.
bro. Cracking, bro.
now the other one is like, do I have any kind of cutoff for teams like, I don't know, like when you can't get the top pick, like Mike, imagine you were like the best qualified team for all 3. You had 3 balls out of however many there are.
Should
and
have been 2
36.
balls.
36.
No.
No, it'd be way
for
more.
everybody, for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you should. The only team that are able to get the first overall pick were the teams that in a full season didn't make the playoffs.
See, now the thing with that though is Phil's team is much better now, but now Phil's gonna have a chance at the top pick again. So like that's why I don't really like something like that. If we're doing a cutoff, I feel
Yeah.
like there needs to be
Well,
more
listen, I
fair
don't even have my pick, so I hope it's fucking 12.
That's true.
Well, I don't even care what we do.
I guess we'll
Interesting.
cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah.
We'll burn that bridge when we come to it.
By the way, it's 234 balls. So you imagine you getting the top pick with only 3 of them or something.
Well, when the Montreal Canadiens lose in the first round, and then they get to pick the Quebec kid, whatever the fuck
You'd
his
have a
name is.
1.28% chance.
Yep.
1.28.
Because the NHL, yeah, well, dude, don't worry, just rig the lottery like we're saying, like just rig it like the NHL does.
Bro, the NHL is so rigged. Montreal will win that first series and still get the first pick.
Well, no, if Montreal wins that first series, Pittsburgh's getting the number 1 pick then.
Oh yeah.
Or if Carey Price mysteriously opts out to play the first series, Montreal's getting that first pick.
Oh yeah.
Carey Price is kidnapped.
By the way,
yeah.
are you Tom, did you get in Dennis's hockey pool? Or
No, I never got called.
so
about
Mike,
it.
it's just you and me from this
I believe so.
I know I got my 3 teams. We did it this way. We had 3 teams. You
Yeah.
get one of the top 8 teams. And then I don't know why we're talking about this on the fantasy podcast. We probably should close that out, and then we'll
Whatever.
keep talking after. Let's just do that.
All
Mike, close
we're-
this out.
Hey man, listen, thanks for listening. Hit like, hit subscribe. The podcast network, whatever the fuck it's going to be called, coming soon.
Yeah, it's
very-
gonna be
very-
sick.
very
Sorry,
excited.
we actually forgot to talk about one of our ad reads right at the end. I know, Tom, you might have had one more ad read for the third podcast that's at our network.
The wrestling one?
Oh, wait, which one's the third
The
one?
one that was discussed right before we
Oh, the one that me and Kyle were discussing.
no, the other one that
The
Kyle and
other
Lucho
one.
are going to be on.
I really wish I had Kyle for this.
Kyle and Lucho are going to be on this podcast, because they both have a prop that goes
Oh,
with it.
right.
Oh, well, should we enlighten the people on that, or should we keep that a surprise?
I mean, you can give a teaser, maybe.
Here's
Lucia,
your
why
teaser.
don't you hold up your teaser?
All right, Mike, close it out.
All right.
Boom!
Thanks for listening. Subscribe, like, bye, goodbye, bye.
Oh shit.